Today we have another drawing and story video for this channel. Keep in mind this one's going to be pretty disturbing, honestly. So, let's get into it. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'll just say that I am working on world building for a game. And this is only a small region, a bunker specifically. And this bunker is where awful experiments were conducted in the 1940s. This is America, by the way. Very rural town, and it has been sealed. Now, what exactly happened here? Well, scientists, before they looked like this, would try and make computers for the US government. Since this is fictional, they figured out some sort of way to use humans, their storage, theoretical RAM, and sort of convert it into usable power for computers. For example, people say the brain has a lot of storage. Well, they tried using that in real world applications. Like they would say, they would hook up people to computers and then store data on them. Quite dark. So, for the specific characters, this is just a type. We have these. They are people who have been reduced to simple objects. They are called numbers. For example, this character is named Computer Number 3. It has been hooked up for 80 years, so decades and decades it's been plugged on, turned on, and it can't go off. Now, one of its friends has been stretched across. That was failed. Another person that it used to know before this happened is part of the machine. And well, you can see that its brain is sort of plugged up with vacuum tubes, and it's trying to say help me over and over again. Now in the actual bunker there will be rows and rows of this. See? So there will be maybe, let's say, a dozen of these machines working in this bunker. All of them obviously want to die very much. They don't like this at all. Yeah. The way I'd say it is, imagine you got a cure for a zombie virus, but they can still rip you apart, and you're just alive in a bunker for a long time while they nibble on you. That's how I describe this feeling. So that's the first kind of characters. Next we have scientists. Now, a good majority of them did leave when this town started falling apart, but a good handful of them weren't so lucky and they stayed behind. They expected, well, all this weird demon, weird hell stuff going on in this small town, not related to the video, just like lore. They thought it would pass over. Well, it didn't, and they eventually turned into these ghoulish, sickly things. And for their sins against humanity, they have been reduced to simple ghouls. Another type of character is basically just brains in a jar. People who were going to be used for this, but they ended up just using their brains as data storage tanks. Next we have walkers. Now, these are things that have just detached themselves from the machines and sort of regrown their own fungi feet. Sidetrack never really worked out for them that well. They still viciously want to kill themselves. Next, and lastly, we have this bug thing. You may be thinking, well, what is this? It was the head scientist. He was transformed into this when the town fell apart and was opened into hell for his crimes against humanity. Yeah. Now, if you guys are curious, I'll just show you guys a quite rough sketch of the town. But essentially in the 1950s, as these experiments are finishing, this town with a bunch of evil people gets overclaimed by demons who run on their suffering and sin. And yes, that's essentially how that ties in. Hope you enjoyed.